That's much better. Hello everybody, welcome back to Life of Us, your video blog on gaming, board gaming and geek culture. And I know it's been a while since I've done a video blog. It's been a good couple of months into the third quarter. First quarter of the year is completely gone. And what can I say? It's been a whirlwind start to 2020. Started off in December with some hostile tensions between Iran and America, making it seem as if the doomsday clock had ticked 1 minute closer to midnight, and the world seemed on the brink of World War III at that time. We were abroad at the time in Dubai on holiday, and it was a strange experience watching these tensions erupt. Particularly when you're traveling, you do tend to feel a little bit more anxiety, a little bit more concern and worry. Did visit a theme park where there was called the Global Village, which is essentially a theme park of different countries represented by food and culture. And I visited both the American part of the theme park as well as the Iranian part of the theme park, and I can tell you for certain there were no hostilities there, at least. Nonetheless, a very strange start to the year. Then coming back home in South Africa, rolling blackouts all the way as Eskom cripples the nation once again with continuous blackouts. Now we were sitting at South Africa hit a low, very, very low with a technical recession, and that's where we're sitting at the moment. So markets aren't doing too great, Rand is not doing too great, companies and investors obviously concerned, and of course the biggest concern of all, which is why I started the video blog wearing this thing, is the existence and the current world situation due to the existence of the COVID-19 coronavirus. The virus, as you know, originated in China, in the Wuhan district, due to some animal, so it was zoological in origin, as I understand it, and was transferred to humans and then spread like a wild plague, the most dangerous virus we've ever seen, where we're sitting at close to over 60,000 deaths worldwide right now. So it's been a very strange situation across the world. Everything all doom and gloom for the start of 2020, very dystopian type future. Everyone's concerned about what tomorrow brings. Nobody really knows what the future will look like from here. Lots of countries in lockdown. We are in day 6 of our lockdown currently. So it's been a very, very tough situation. I have the privilege of being able to work from home. As you know, I do work from home quite frequently. So it's business as usual for me, just over extended time now. So for the next 21 days, or well, maybe soon, maybe more than that, hopefully not, we'll see. Most of us will be at home with our families, unless you fall part of the essential staff as stipulated by government, the essential members of that need, or essential services that actually need to be out on the streets, doctors and the people manufacturing foods, people manufacturing pharmaceuticals, pathological staff, and so on. And obviously the civil people actually doing the normal civil run, collecting your trash, taking it out, water and sanitation, electricity, those things. So those things are still all running. But yeah, it's been a real whirlwind start to the year. I have not had time to do much gaming, mainly because I've been tied up at work and with all these other things happening around us. I understand that there's a lot of anxiety in the world right now. I want to assure everyone that you're not in this alone. We're all going through this together, and we'll pull through this. We'll go through the crucible and we'll come out the other side. I have faith and I have hope that that is, God willing, the path that we will find ourselves in. I know if you look at the figures worldwide, from China to Italy to Spain, to the UK and France and all the European countries, the figures do look staggeringly huge, particularly with the number of fatalities. I read or heard somewhere that Italy's population won't ever be the same because they've got 40% of a population of elderly people over the age of 65, and they've lost thousands of people because of this virus. It is the worst virus we've seen in human history, I think, to date, because of the nature of how quickly it has spread. I know that they are rushing around to try and figure out a cure for this pandemic, a vaccine if possible. So everyone's looking at that. Yeah, and we back home here in Cape Town are self-isolating. We're in lockdown. We're keeping ourselves and our families safe by remaining in our homes, not going out unless it's for essential things like bread and milk. But it's a different feeling. It's a different situation. You can't visit your loved ones, your families, your parents, or people that don't generally live with you in the same house. It's hard on everyone, and harder still considering that most of our, well, more than 60% of our country still has large rural population of people that actually live in townships and informal settlements. Nonetheless, let's try to not focus too much on the negative and start talking about the positive. So D&D, like I said, I haven't had time to do much board gaming, tied up at work. It's just been a whirlwind at work as well with the amount of work. I'm back now, and I want to assure my avid followers and listeners and people who subscribe to my blog that I'm back with a bang. There'll be plenty of D&D in the upcoming weeks. Not because I have more time being at home. I'm actually more busy being at home. But I'll definitely made a commitment to try to do more blogging, more video blogging. It also helps me relax a little bit. Okay, so let's dive right into it and have a look at what's on the agenda for Life of Us in 2020. Okay, so first up, let's get my little handy little D&D Will from Stranger Things. It's my little mascot. So whenever you see this little mascot, it means it's D&D or at least board gaming time. Like I said, I was abroad at the end of the year to Dubai, and did manage to get my hands on some really cool new D&D miniatures. So you'll be seeing some custom heroes, not one or two, but a total of 17 new custom heroes for the Dungeons and Dragons board gaming series, as well as some villains. The heroes range in style and play. I've tried to push the envelope a little bit with the D&D games to give them some new tactics and new features and new abilities. Some of them are dice driven, some of them have their own unique card decks. They all have certain abilities and tactics that makes them a little different from the standard D&D type games. Most of them go up to the expert levels, as we saw in Dungeon of the Mad Mage, where they can level up to level 4. So you'll be seeing a lot of that as well. Also, there's a campaign that I'm busy working on. Gotten through the initial storyline, plays through all 4 games that I have, which is Castle Ravenloft, Wrath of Ashardlin, the Tomb of Annihilation, and the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, as well as the Legend of Drizzt. So, 5 games that I have. I'll be playing through all 5 games in the campaign, as well as this little nifty Dungeon Tiles Reincarnated box set that I got, which is the city version. So there's going to be a city campaign. So that's my first 2 adventures in the campaign. Will be very much city driven, mystery type storyline, very campaign heavy and very RPG heavy, as opposed to the standard way of D&D games. So without further ado, I'd just like to share with you some of the miniatures that I've got, and let's have a look at some of the new minis that I bought while abroad. So lots of new minis, as you can see, and at the back there are some villains as well. Lots and lots of new minis. We've got human wizards, we've got vigilante type Batman inspired characters. He's got 2 personalities or alter egos that you could play with. There's a halfling mesmerist, there's a human psychic, there's a human shifter, there's a dwarven king, we've got rangers, we've got orcs, we've got forge masters, we've got monks as well. We've got these two rogue type fighters called the Dragon Blades. There's even an elven pirate character there in this mix. So lots and lots of new heroes as well as new villains. For those of you who are, one that I'm particularly excited about is this guy here. He's got two figurines. Actually, there's a third one, which is a set of bats, which I still have to get out. But he's inspired by, if you're familiar with the Castlevania series, you'll quite like this. So we're probably going to use Ravenloft type settings for that character. It won't be Strahd, but it will be this villain, which we'll unveil in a little bit. We've got another very powerful sorcerer type creature, specters, an orc, stone giant at the back. I think that is a stone giant. Stone giant elder, yes. We've got the Vrock demon. We've got all of these little creatures and monsters that will come into play in the new campaign. So all in all, a lot more content, a lot more D&D, and a lot more to look forward to in the upcoming months. And then on my side, I've been playing quite a bit of board games too. So if you just have a look at my pile of games over here, quite a lot of board games that I not have been playing, that I will be playing in this current lockdown isolation period. There's the Legendary Encounters, probably my favorite of the Legendary sets. I've played one of the other ones, which is the Marvel one. Really excited to play through that again because I'm a big fan of the Alien series, and the tension in that game is just amazing. There's the Lord of the Rings card game. I'll get through that in a minute. Well, I actually have quite a few expansions sitting at the back that I need to get through, so I'll be playing that as well, maybe tweaking some decks. Like the game, very thematic, really brutal though. The one on top of it is a very new game, Marvel Champions, the card game. I've heard a lot about it. I got it on a Black Friday special and I have not had time. So from November until now, I've not had time to actually even open the box, let alone play it. But I am excited to start playing it as soon as possible because I've heard lots of good things about that game. So that's my go-to game for this upcoming weekend, at least, will be Marvel Champions. The other games that I'm playing is, of course, Hellboy the board game, my next favorite solo game at the moment after the Lord of the Rings and obviously D&D. So I really enjoy the Hellboy board game and we'll be playing through that as well again. So lots more games to play, lots more content, lots more D&D coming. Watch this space and I guarantee you there'll be lots more blog content. So it'll be a slightly different format from my usual format, I think. Normally what I'll do is I would have printed out a whole bunch of hero cards and hero stats. I don't have all of them printed out. I have a few of them, so you'll see the Dwarven Battle Master. I might have the monk in here as well. Yeah, I do. I have the monk and I have the Forge Master. But the rest of them I haven't had time to print, mainly because of the lockdown and the scramble to just get supplies and hole up at home and quarantine yourself. And yeah, it's been real, guys. It's been really real. That said, it'll be a slightly different format for how I'll be doing the gaming. Probably be more online based, so you'll probably have a voiceover with some pictures at the background, so you don't have to keep looking at me all the time, because I don't like looking at me anyway. But you'll be hearing me explaining some of the tactics and some of the abilities of each of the characters, and maybe some video demonstrations on how the abilities play out. But yeah, let's see where we get there. We've got Dwarven Battle Masters to get to. We've got Dwarven Forge Masters to get to. We've got the Dwarven King. That's a lot of dwarves, eh? I've got the Elven Dragon Blades. I've got the Elven Druid, which we've seen already. The Mage, which is workover, completely new. We've got the Pirate. So you remember the Elven Mage character we did before mentioned the Pirate Elven Mage, which is this guy over, where is he? Here we go, Eladrian. We had him in the Ruin of Nimba campaign. I've done a workover of him. He no longer needs to summon elementals. He's now become the embodiment of the elements himself. So very excited to share that one with you. I've got an Elven Pirate, a female Elven Pirate. Here she is. and she's got some unique abilities as well. Yeah, we'll get to zooming in and giving you better pictures at some point. A little halfling mesmerist called Malakazam. Some really cool abilities. We've got shifters and psychics. There's just so much new content coming. So much new content. Just watch the space. We'll get there. And yeah, let's play some D&D, guys. So there you have it, folks. Like I said, watch the space, and I'll be rolling out some new blog content in the upcoming weeks, upcoming days. I'll probably look at doing 1 character per week or 2 characters per week if possible. I've got all the content, I've got all the stats for them all already set out, and really excited to share this with you. Share the heroes, the campaign, the settings, and maybe you can take this and create your own adventures from it, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for joining. We'll chat again. Bye bye. Live long and prosper.